The unconscious mind is like soil. Whatever is planted there grows, whether you know it's there or not. Today we're continuing our 9 levels of consciousness series, and today we are tackling number 7. This is level 7, the unconscious mind. And so this is the first layer of our physical mind, which this is so fun. And again, we are doing concentric circles because this is the inward focus of spirit to create physical reality. And again, I've shared this in the previous videos, so hopefully you've been watching the whole series, or you can go back and get that so that you can get the full thing. So the unconscious mind holds the core beliefs and assumptions that silently shape your reality. And again, you've heard me talk about the fact that your reality reveals your alignment. And again, of course, I have a diagram for that because I love a good diagram. And so when we look at our alignment from a place of curiosity and not judgment, we can get a lot of really good information from it. And it really does not behoove us to get frustrated with ourselves if we're still struggling with something. If we're still struggling with something, there's a reason. There's something that we need to work through. There's a belief that we haven't processed yet, which would be happening at the unconscious level, because this is where those beliefs are. And again, the beliefs were put in place for us. That's what we have to remember. But what I might think as a 5-year-old is for me is not necessarily working for me as a 50-something-year-old. That's all I'm saying. So like, let's say, when you're 5 years old, your friends do something mean to you and you get this idea that nobody ever likes you or that nobody's trustworthy. Let's go with that. Nobody's trustworthy. Somebody hurt your feelings. Nobody's trustworthy. So that is a deep-seated belief that you now have and that you've harbored for decades, and you're still playing that out in your life, even though it's not serving you. And it's not even really based in reality. It was based on that one experience that you had when you were like 5 years old, right? And so how do you find that? Well, again, when you are able to look at your reactions to situations with curiosity and not judgment, then you're able to find those things. So I might say, like, wow, I'm interacting with these people and I'm noticing, that I'm experiencing fill in the blank, whatever emotion it is. I'd have to think about what emotion that might be that you would be feeling if you're not going to trust anybody. You might feel mistrust even, like that might be the emotion that's coming up for you. And you might be like, that's interesting. Why am I feeling mistrust? And so as you dig that back, you might go, wow, okay, so I think I might have a belief. And again, this is where having a sounding board when you're doing your shadow work helps. And that can be human or, some people will use some of the AI, and I know somebody already commented that they're not a fan of that, and that's fine. You don't have to do that. But again, someone who can reflect back to you. And again, if you are using something simulated, just remember that that you are the human in that scenario, and so you need to filter it through reality. But sometimes it can be helpful reflecting things back to you that you might not have otherwise noticed. But you do have to be cautious when you're doing that. I will just say that. So anyway, but again, you might follow that back and say, I think I struggle with a belief that people are not inherently trustworthy, right? And so then as you bring light to that, you can rewrite that. You can choose to believe something else. You can begin to peel back the layers of that. And this is where the shadow work becomes so important. And this is why understanding where these things are occurring, right? So you have your emotions at the subconscious, you have your beliefs at the unconscious, and then you have the loops that you're experiencing happening at the individual automatic mind level, which we talked about in level 6. And so the other thing that also happens at this level that's really important is this is part of the bridge between your physical mind and your higher mind, your higher self, right? So this is where you're going to receive the unctions for doing things. So like you might, feel a sense of passion or excitement about pursuing a particular vocation, or by connecting with a specific person, or by moving to a specific country or something like that. Like whatever that unction is, like follow that passion. It's where that intuition is tapped into. That's where you're drawing that from, is you're hearing what the higher mind is relaying to you. So this is where you're catching that, is at that unconscious mind level. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully that sparks your interest. And we're going to talk more with level 8. And again, you'll get a better idea for how all of the layers of the physical mind are working together. Have an awesome day.